Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome to a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. It is February the 10th. If you're having a birthday, I hope it's a big one for you. Enjoy yourself. Don't forget to tune in this morning beginning at 8, and we'll run down all the things that are going on nationwide. We'll tell you all about what's happening here locally and across the state as well. We've got some special guests that's going to be coming in this morning. Alan Brown will be here, Craig Hitt, and also Miss Ann McKee to tell you about the big doings in downtown Meridian this weekend, as Meridian will celebrate its anniversary of when it became a city. If you've never been to anything like this, it's pretty neat to where you'll be able to walk through these different areas, and it'll tell you about the history of the town. That will begin late Saturday afternoon until about dark 30. So make plans to come out. It should be a lot of fun and maybe learn a little bit about Meridian's history. And it does have a bunch of history, so I do hope you'll do that and take part of that. A lot of fun with that. Hopefully this will grow into a huge event each year. That's our hope there. So how are you today? Let's see, LaWanda Grantham says, happy birthday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll have one coming up before long also. Mike Dallas, good morning to you. Connie Johns, Laura Todd Lee, how are you doing today? Les Alexander joins us along with Joyce Gressett. Glad to see each and every one of y'all. So many of you are up. Right now in downtown Meridian, we're seeing 33 degrees from there out to Key Field. As you go north of here, I'm sure it's a little bit cooler. Let us know what it is at your house on your front porch. Brr. Boy, it was a busy day yesterday. Oh, and we'll tell you about that chance of a flur in the air. Has it gone away? Well, for a brief moment anyway. The National Weather Service teased us with the chance of snow on Saturday night into Sunday morning. It was there. It's gone. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. As I said, 33. And yesterday was a busy day throughout the area. There was lots going on. As I had gotten word that something happened. This is Tuesday. It was early Wednesday morning before we went on the air that someone was taken to the hospital. Well, I didn't have all the details, so we couldn't talk about it yesterday morning. But here's the issue that we had. Someone was taken to the hospital in the early hours of yesterday morning with a gunshot wound. And this happened around, as we look at this, the deputy was dispatched to a local emergency room yesterday morning, just around 2:30 a.m. He came to the ER with a gunshot to the hand. It reportedly occurred in the 10,000 block of Highway 80 West in the morning. It did happen somewhere around 2:30. This is under investigation. Someone did take him to the hospital, but nonetheless, we did have a gunshot victim in those overnight hours in the hand. We haven't gotten all the details of what went on with that. Was it an accident? We see a bunch of that. Now, what you're doing when you handle guns, for sure. Let's see. I got several reports of shots fired overnight. I did get a report, has not been confirmed, that on the 3500 block of 36th Avenue, a house may have been hit. That is not confirmed yet as we look at this. Also, I see where we had shots fired on 20th Street, 33rd Avenue. Also along 3900 block of Paulding Street. We got a report of shots being in that area also. Early this morning, now details are sketchy on this as we begin. This just happened a few moments ago. We had someone else in the Meridian area threatening to jump from a building. Police, I do know at this point, were able to talk the person down after the Meridian Fire Department was called in. This happened on, 17th Avenue and 5th Street earlier this morning, way before daylight there, but they were able to talk them down. No one was hurt. We don't know the circumstances or age of the person that was threatening this. If you'll know, a few days ago, we had one person 3 different times during the day threatened to do things like this. I don't think this is the same person, but we'll try to find out more information on this as the day progresses and daylight comes about. A lot happened with that. Let's see some other things. We had several wrecks throughout the area yesterday, if you were keeping up with things, down by the bowling alley on North Hill Street. I got a text that there was traffic backed up all the way to the bowling alley. And if you go past the bowling alley down to 43rd, it was backed up that far, a fender bender there. I don't think any serious injuries came out of that. But still, at the same time, it blocked traffic there as everybody was trying to get home, a fender bender. Later last night, I would get another text, and originally this was said that it was a one-car accident on Highway 19 as you're going toward the Collinsville area. Well, what actually happened as we dug deeper into this story was a car was rear-ended, and the car that hit the one that was in front of it ran off the edge of the road. And as this was reported, it was said that it was a single vehicle accident and somebody had ran. The truth to the matter was you just couldn't see the person that hit them. From what I understand, reports of texts that were coming in, it was stuff strode everywhere. I think the vehicle that was struck was a truck that was struck. Well, listen to me trying to rhyme today. But it strode everything he had in the middle of the highway as well. They did get that cleaned up, no serious injuries. I had someone stop and come back and tell me later that everybody was okay. I think it shook everybody up. Now, as we go deeper into yesterday, we'll get to a bigger one here in just a second, though. But let's pull this up. This was almost a scary situation for all our friends that live out in the Briarwood area. Gas leak. Did you hear about this? They shut the road down for a little while there on the 700 block of Briarwood Road as they brought in to fix the gas leak. It would be somewhere around 4 o'clock, I believe, when all of that was straightened up and you could start traveling through there. Always remember, if you're in an area, like you go back a few weeks ago when we had the gas leak out by the gas tanks, don't drive through that. The least little thing can cause a spark, and, well, you know what happens next from those. But fortunately, nothing happened there. Everybody was okay, and they were able to put everything back together. That's the great news on that. Now, I was sitting here yesterday. How do you say it? Minding my own business. And I started getting these texts, and I was working on a commercial for Piggly Wiggly. We had the Piggly Wiggly choir over here. They were getting ready to sing their little music there, and we were looking at the specials, and my phone started going off. Car chase. So I got to dig into this. The first address I got was off of Davis Street. I had several people call me. This is, if you're looking, just to give you a roughly idea how this worked. If you're on 8th Street, if you go one street over through Davis Court, back behind 7th Street, this is kind of where it all began. We had a gentleman run a stop sign and nearly caused an accident. A cop witnessed it. So the cop got in behind it, but guess what? He didn't want to stop. As we pull this up, as we follow the path of this, it was a gold Mustang, a 2010 model. And, well, he floored it. Well, the cops got in after him at a slow pace there and kept behind him. What we don't know, I hadn't gotten all the details of this. As we go through this, a wreck would soon happen. This is Highway 39. I know this picture here is small. We're going to show you a bigger one. This is coming up on the intersection by Dairy Queen and the BMW dealership. All right, this is looking at across from the bank and where the BMW dealership is. Here's Dairy Queen that sits right here. Right there is where Dairy Queen is. This would be Old Farm Beef House is where that is located. If you'll notice, the car is in the medium. But as you look deeper into this, right back down the road by where Randy Harrison's used to be, and which is now a car lot, there was a truck pulled off on the side of the road that had been hit. I have not gotten it explained to me if when he went to 39, if he stayed in the right direction in the northbound lane, or if he jumped into the southbound lane and struck someone. But at the end of the day, he wrecked his car right here in the medium in between Dairy Queen and the BMW dealership. Then that's when the fun began. Yes, it was a foot race right here in Meridian. The first suspect was caught rather quickly. And then within 10 minutes, the next victim, after a good foot chase there, I don't know if victim is the word, but driver, let me rechange that, was caught after a foot chase. And here's the gentleman here as we pull up his picture this morning of what went on there. Christian Hardy is who he is. Now, I do expect more charges to be involved with this, but as we get updates from the Meridian Police Department there, we look at this, he has been charged with felony fleeing and has a $10,000 bond. His name is Christian Hardy. We do expect more because you don't run from the cops unless there's something else going on. I'm sure there's an investigation going on, and something else was going on there. You just don't, because you run a stop sign, try to outrun the cops, because you got to take a risk there. So I expect something more, and there is going to be numerous charges for running stop signs, hitting other people, but felony fleeing is the first big charge that they have put on this fella here. Was it worth it? Nope. He's got trouble ahead of him as he begins his day. It's not looking good. He's sitting somewhere now. We'll see if he bails out a little bit later on. Well, on the other side of the county, the Sheriff's Department was busy yesterday. We've been keeping up with this. They had a busy day also. They made a couple of arrests yesterday. And let's look into this. Our first one was Devon Boyd. He's been charged with possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. And as we go to the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department to pull this up, this is who was arrested yesterday. And let's get that picture back up where you can see that. There he is. He was taken into custody yesterday. Also, at the same time, that was not the only arrest. The Sheriff's Department was extremely busy yesterday. He needed a cellmate. Well, he got one. And this is the gentleman that got to join him in jail there. Jimmy Smith has also been arrested. Now, Jimmy, as we look into this, and let's read his charges there because he's got a little bit more of this charges. He gets probation violation, parole. He already had some issues going on. A felon in possession of a firearm. Shouldn't have had that. And also trafficking a controlled substance. So all of this, as you dig into this, dealt with drugs in some shape, form, or way. And there's his rap sheet. You can go to my Facebook page and read more about this and give you all the details of what it was and how old he was and how tall he is. In case you ever bump into him and want to know all that. That's his profile there. Sheriff's Department was busy. And you have to say our law enforcement does a great job. I did get a note from the Louisville Police Department, from the sheriff's office in that area there, that they have made an arrest of the young man that was wanted in a burglary. He turned himself in. That is good news. Also, we had some pictures out of some shoplifters yesterday from the Shell station. We had numerous reports of, I know who this is. The police department got up on that. They were contacted with the owner, David, and they've worked out a deal to where I don't believe charges are going to be pressed. They're going to come back. They've apologized, and they're going to pay for what they stole. He's worked a deal with them. So I would say that's your get-out-of-jail-free card is what I would call that. Won't be as easy next time. Oh, boy, he just stays busy, doesn't it? There's lots that goes on with all of this. As we look around, let me see what else we had happened this yesterday afternoon. We talked about the crashes there, as we also mentioned the gas leak there. And let me see. Yeah, I got that. There's going to be a job fair today, and let's talk about this. It's coming to Meridian. It's going to be at the old Office Max is where it's going to be at Bonita Lake Circle. If you're looking for a job, there's going to be over 40 Meridian employers looking for employees. So if you need a job, come out today. That's going to be happening today. Bonita Lake Circle, if you need a job, they'll be there. That's pretty good news. That's better news than most. We'll get into some stories here in a minute of happening all around. Right now, let me look at some of these temperatures here that we've got. I saw some 37s up in Kemper County, 37 in Preston. Philadelphia, Terry Ray says it's 33 today. Bree says good morning from downtown Decatur. Hope everything's good over there. Joyce Godwin is joining us. Also, Joe Gully. Glad to see you, Joe. Ryan Brown is up. Top of the morning there, my friend. Denise Burnside is up. Angela Dunnigan. Let's see who else we've got here that is stirring a little bit there. Jim Myrick. Good to see you there. Glad to see you're up and at 'em today there. All right, let's talk about some other things that are happening in the state, because there is a lot that is happening in the state of Mississippi. And we'll get into a Meridian man that has lost his life here in just a moment. You always hear Metro Mall. Do y'all remember going to that in Jackson, Mississippi? Well, it looks as though the very last store is closing the doors in Jackson, Mississippi. It is. Burlington Coat Factory is the last store in there. After today, the end of this week, it'll be no more. They've had enough. And the big question is, I read this about Jackson. Why are so many businesses leaving Jackson and going to the county? I can answer that quickly. Anybody else want to guess before I say it? Oh, yeah, crime. You get killed in Jackson if you walk around. It's horrible over there. So most businesses in the malls are starting to fade away, and people are moving to the county outside of the city limits of Jackson because, well, it's just gotten so bad. You can say what you want and say, oh, that's not true. Look at the statistics. It's there, and I think most would agree with that. We pass along condolences this morning to a Meridian family. This is just awful to have to say, but John Roger of Meridian, was killed in a single vehicle accident in Louisiana on the 8th, which was 2 days ago. Louisiana police identified him. He was a 56-year-old John Rogers of Meridian. His truck flipped. He was pronounced dead at the scene. We pass along condolences to his family from my area there. So sad that this happened. I don't have the rest of the circumstances, but he ran off the road some form of a way. We don't know if a dog ran out, he died something, hit a culvert, the truck flipped, and he was pronounced deceased at the scene. We do pass along condolences to his family. Such a rough time for that. I hate to see that. Coming up, I've got some more stories that we're going to tell you about. Mississippi Highway Patrol was involved in a chase yesterday. We'll tell you all what happened with that. That's up and coming here in just a few moments. Don't rush off. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Florida strawberries, $3.99. Cuties or Halos, a 3-pound bag for $6.99. Heinz ketchup, 38-ounce, 2 for $7. A1 steak sauce, a 10-ounce bottle, 2 for $7. Kraft mac and cheese, $1.29. Assorted pork chops, $1.29. And certified Angus beef boneless ribeye steak family pack, $14.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike and Jake have years of experience of dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel. Talk to Mike and his staff anytime, and they'll fix you up if you got one of those trees that's leaning over your house. It's always scary. I don't like them. Mike and his friendly staff will help you out and take care of you. As I mentioned yesterday, a Mississippi Highway Patrol, well, it's a good thing they've got insurance because they got to buy a new trooper car today. In the Jackson area in Hinds County, someone made an illegal U-turn. The Highway Patrol got after them. They pulled into a wooded area, and the next thing you know, well, the car is hot. Grass soon caught fire, and, well, we lost a MHP car. No one was hurt, but still, the car is gone at this point. As we go across here, have you heard about this? Rankin County yet again has made another bust. As we go to that, 30 pounds of cocaine was seized yesterday from Rankin County. Those boys over there with the badges have been doing their job. And we look at these pictures here. Here's what was pulled out of the truck. Have you seen this yet? This is also on Facebook, too, if you'd like to take a look at that. They will hide cocaine just about anywhere. Drug sniffing dogs get this stuff out and they find it. Again, that's Rankin County. That's how they had it all hid there. A couple of the suspects, a female and also a male there. Crime doesn't pay, or at least it doesn't in the long run. We'll say that. Sometimes they do get ahead there for a little while. Doesn't last long, though, but that happened over in the Jackson area. 2 shootings are under investigation in Canton. And I brought this up because you don't normally hear of shootings that happen in Canton, Mississippi. It's pretty much a quiet town. Everything is calm, but they're investigating it. 2 different shootings. We'll see what becomes of this as we look across the state of things that have happened. Also, a man was arrested in Macomb from a shooting back in January. This one's for homicide. Not looking good to him. Looks like he'll be spending a little time behind bars. Of course, this goes to trial first, and he has to be convicted, but that is it. We did have some people that were killed in wrecks over the last 24 hours. A driver was killed in a 3-vehicle wreck also in Hinds County. We hate to even say that, but wrecks do happen with that. It happened around 6:45 on Highway 18 in Hinds County yesterday. Condolences to the family of that happened. And also down in Natchez, a lady also lost her life yesterday. 2 others were critically injured. She lost her life in the wreck. We pass along condolences with that. It's just sad, sad, sad. As we look at a few of these headlines from across the state, are you up to date on who used to play in sports? Well, Jeremy Gamby, if I'm pronouncing that right, he's 47 years old. He was a former Red Sox player, has been found dead of apparent suicide. Big ball player there. His brother plays for the Yankees. Hate to see that. Coronavirus numbers are down in the state of Mississippi. That's even better. We like to see that. Glad those are starting to dwindle away. Let's see here. Bilbo, remember that? We've been trying to figure out where the statue of the former governor from the Capitol, well, they have found it. If you were worried about that, it's in a closet. They knew where it was all along. They just wasn't telling anybody. They went and hid the old boy, if you're wondering that. Big news that broke out last night as one of America's most favorite people that there ever was that hit TV, Bob Saget. As you'll remember, he was found in a hotel down in Florida doing a stand-up comedian tour. He was found dead in his bed. No foul play was expected. They released the autopsy yesterday, and guess what happened? At some point during the day, and you've heard your mother tell you this, if you ever hit your head, do not go to sleep. And somewhere, and they don't know how, he had bumped his head, and he went to bed. And he died from that. That's just sad, isn't it? Let's see here. Florida couple, and this should have happened sooner as we look at this. They've been arrested for locking their 14-year-old son in an 8x8 cage. Gave him a bucket for a toilet. Child abuse. You know, things like that happen in the community. Call somebody. Children should not be forced and have to live in these kind of conditions. It makes me sick, and I hope they have to pay for what they've done with all of that. Ooh, boy, boy, boy. Another airplane had to make an emergency landing yesterday. This time it was going from New York City to Orlando. And you guessed it. He was I don't know how to even word it. Started yelling that the person next to him had his DNA. Yeah, I said that. Doesn't make sense, does it? Kind of weird. It took 6 passengers to hold him down till they contain him until they made an emergency landing. Yeah, mercy, you just never know what you're going to face when you get on a flight, do you? You really don't. Tommy Long, thank you there from watching from Stonewall, Mississippi. Glad to have you there. Michael John, good morning to you. Sarah Jo Welch is joining us this morning. We're going to get warm today. Did I tell you about that? We also had that mention of a snow flurry coming about. That's happening there. So we've got a lot going on. Hang close. We've got more coming up here in just a moment as we'll tell you your forecast.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our communities efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back and look at our record highs and record lows on this date, it was 1932 that we set the record of 82 degrees warm. Today we're going to get, well, maybe not so close to it, but it will be warm for us. As we look at that record low, it was 1971. I was sitting around at 2 years old trying to figure out what to do. It was 13 degrees. Been a while. What's going to happen today? Sunshine and 70-degree weather. It will stretch from Meridian northward toward Philadelphia all the way up to Mississippi State. We'll look at about 69 there at State. As we go west, Vicksburg will see 71. And to the south, Natchez will see the same as we go down through Brookhaven and Hattiesburg and toward the coast. Sunshine everywhere at 70. As we look at our friends in Alabama, great day for y'all as well. 69 in Demopolis. Over in Livingston, you'll still hit 70. It'll be right there along Highway 17 in those areas. A beautiful day for Mississippi and Alabama. Nothing bad at all as we look at this. As we look, we brought this up yesterday morning. Do not burn. Just hold off a few days. They're telling us wildfire danger is huge in between now and Friday. It can get ahead of you, get loose, and burn things. We don't want that to happen to you at all, so don't burn over the next few days. As we look at temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, as we see that 70-degree weather today, here it is. We've got that warm front coming through, possibly another storm front coming on Saturday night into Sunday morning. We'll look at that. As we jump to our temperatures today and tell you more about exactly what's happening here, we dig into our forecast today. Sunshine and 70. Beautiful today, down to 40 tonight. Not bad weather at all. We'll close the week with, well, what we call ditto. 71 tomorrow with a low of 42 Friday night. Saturday, we'll have a mostly sunny sky, but gusty with a high of 66. Now, this is where we have to look at Saturday night. There's a slight chance of rain before midnight. The low is going to be 29. Originally, yesterday, the National Weather Service jumped back in and said, whoa, wait a minute, you've got a chance of snow. It was going to be after midnight and through about 7 a.m. Sunday morning. 20% chance of snow. They've now taken that out of the forecast, but that doesn't mean we're a few days out from this event that it couldn't be put back into that. North of us, they're expecting some snow, so there is a chance that this may come back into our forecast again where we get to have a little fun on Sunday afternoon. We'll see. But again, it was there. It's gone now. But we'll watch this system. Again, that Saturday night after midnight, we got a 20% chance of snow, or did rather, but we've got a 20% chance of rain there after midnight. And at 29, lots of things can happen. We'll watch it, let you know what becomes of it. As we go back to work on Monday, 60, 63 on Tuesday. And as we go ahead and look, the 24th, we'll see 71 and rain, but we'll hold steady in the 60s through all the way down here to the 24th in Mississippi. Boy, that's warm, isn't it? It is. Kind of scary. I don't like having things that warm there as we nearly halfway through the month. So, again, we'll watch what's coming up on Saturday night. Let's go to radar this morning and show you what we've got this morning. All clear across the state of Mississippi and Alabama. Louisiana, we get down to Lake Charles and Lafayette. Look at the fog they've got. If you're traveling 10 this morning, it's a mess there. Be careful. You won't be able to see when you get near Lafayette, Louisiana. It'll be a mess for you. So drive careful. As we back out and we come up here through the eastern Tennessee, getting into the Carolinas, we've got some fog there this morning also. Up the eastern coastline, we don't see any rain. New York, a little bit of fog there. We cut across Oklahoma City, a sprinkle, and we've got snow up here in the Dakotas once again. Look at that. 25 degrees there in stark weather, North Dakota. Let's move over here and check out our friends in Minnesota where it's always cold. 10 degrees there. Unknown city there. Viking, Minnesota, they've got a big 8 degrees. Over in Montana today, 50. That's kind of weird, isn't it? They've got a lot of wind. And look at the fog out in Portland. They may not be able to see to rob anything today out there. Yeah, where you can take your own TV if you can see to get in there. Lots of fog to Oregon and Portland and Seattle in those areas. It's rough. California looks great. So there's no major weather events as we look out across the United States today. It looks good. And we're going to say that for the same here in the Meridian area. As we're now, it's cold out there. You'll want to warm up your car before you head off because it's 33 degrees right now. It makes you go burr, without a doubt. We've got a fun-filled morning lined up for you, and all this will be kicking off at 8 a.m. Won't you join us? As we said, we'll have some special guests this morning talking about the big activities coming to Meridian over the weekend in the afternoon as Meridian will celebrate its birthday. Really, it's going to be fun. It'll be a walking history. They'll have someone, an actor. That's it. They'll have actors portraying Meridian of how it used to be in yesteryear. I hope you'll get to see a little bit of that. We'll go over some more stories and especially things that affect you that are nationwide. You may not hear it anywhere else. We want to make sure that you're up to date on everything that goes around and happens in our area, and things that happen in the nation do affect you here, believe it or not. Some people go, oh, that's nowhere near here. Yeah, it does. It usually trickles to us. We're a little bit of slow there, but we do get it eventually. Thank y'all for coming by. I appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you, as each of you send us reports of wrecks and things that happen in our community. If you see something odd, send us a picture. Send us a note. Let us dig into it and find out what was going on so we can tell you exactly what it was. Thank y'all for coming by. Candace is getting ready. She's getting that hair all fixed up. She'll be here as well. Thank you most of all for being a part of this. And all the sponsors, as you see them change on the screen, they make this happen and, keep us on the air each day. Thank you to each and every one of y'all. We'll be coming up shortly here live in a little while again at 8. Join us again. Thanks for dropping by. We'll see you soon again with the Scotty Ray Report.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by